democracy cannot ignore the values of culture and tradition. Of course, they say it's a democratic right for anyone to vie for president as long as they are qualified according to the constitution. But I think, and I'm talking as a Joseph Kazhila, not representing my church, it's my own opinion as a citizen of this nation. We buried, or the nation say buried or put to rest the remains of the fifth Republican president. The widow rises up and say, I'm going to join the race for the presidential aspirants in PF, which of course is a democratic right. But looking at the cultural and traditional values, that is a great conflict. And even in the Bible, when you look at how they mourned kings, it was not something that was done just in a flash. Every death carries weight. It carries pain with it, much more to the spouse and the immediate family of the deceased. In this time, I believe that the former First Lady should have backed out from this contention. It is just too early. We would describe it as a cultural abomination, a traditional abomination. And we cannot take like that. Everyone has a right. But these rights we do have are subject. What was so urgent about the matter? I would think she should have waited until 2016, because 2016 we're having a general elections and PF should be going for a convention before such elections are held. So joining into that bandwagon, I believe, it's my own opinion as Joseph Kazhila, I believe it's just a mistake. It's a cultural mistake. If I was in a family line, I think I would have prevailed on and say, no, Mama, you cannot do this, because at the end of the day, if you hear the talk of the Zambian people right now, including women and men, girls and boys, it's like a majority of it, they are hit, they are struck with that. It's like just a tornado has hit them and they are grumbling. So that doesn't go well, actually, for her reputation. She's a woman who has built a very strong reputation. We looked to her as a mother of the nation, and I don't think she would have lost that status if she stayed put and left the other people to jostle for power. Now, again, as we go on in this jostling for power in the PF and in the MMD, they are saying it's democratic right. Nothing's democratic. That's confusion. We should not be pretending. That is confusion. It's like everyone says they knew the late president, like in the PF, they knew the late president very well. There are certain of the candidates that are more popular than the other. Why not just ride behind those that are popular and then move on? But in this case, everyone wants to be a president. And the consequence is what is happening, that there are now injunctions that are held. And time is running out for the ruling party. And I would want to say that Dr. Scott, as the acting president, is supposed to give hope to the Zambian people, provide a leadership that is unbiased, leadership that is driving the nation according to the realms of the constitution, which I believe the current defective constitution, of course, is not the best of constitutions. But it needs to be, fair and not to be biased towards any grouping in the system. That's why the Zambian people, as we go into these elections, you will make a very big mistake if you vote on the basis of tribe or region. You write off people on the basis of race. You begin to say, no, this tribe, they are like this, they are like that. This one comes from this region. I cannot vote for such a one. We need new values. In short, we need new blood. The blood that will drive this nation into this era where we have entered into, which we may call as a Jubilee era. And so we are looking for a Jubilee president. Somebody who's not polluted, somebody who's not coming in with greed, with intention just to get power and abuse the Zambian people, but someone who is coming you know, with a mind and saying, I'm employed by the Zambian people, I'm accountable to the Zambian people, and I'll drive the agenda of the Zambian people according to constitution. Somebody who will go and tap into the resource that will develop Zambia so that at the end of the day, there is equitable sharing of the national cake. In the past, you know, who have benefited from the wealth of Zambia? Zambia is a wealth country. But it's just the politicians to a large extent. And if you look at even most of the rich people in this country, most of them are just thieves. They stole from somewhere and then they became big. Zambia must arise. This time around, let's not make another mistake.